Hey guys, today the lesson we're going to talk about obtuse angles and what that means for trigonometry in regards to sine, cos, and tan. So one thing, the first thing we're going to talk about is what does it actually mean to have an obtuse angle? Obtuse just means that it is greater than 90. Okay. So one of the things that they talk about with angles, I'm kind of going to give you the overview of it, but when we plot them in the Cartesian plane, we always start here at 0 degrees and we go around up to 90. Now, when we do the sine, cos, and tan of any angle that is between 0 degrees and 90 degrees, our answer is always positive. So if we're in here, sine is going to be positive, cos will be positive, and tan will be positive. And then if we carry on, over here is 180 degrees. And any angle between 90 and 180, sine stays positive, but cos is negative and tan is negative. Now, the other thing to note is that if we have an angle such as this, let's say it's 30 degrees, we can represent the same angle in on the other side, where this is 30. And this one is 180 minus 30 to give us an angle of 150 degrees. Now what's going to happen is they're going to have the same sine values. They'll have the same cos values, but in this quadrant it's positive and on this one it's negative. And same thing happens with tan. It's positive if it's between 0 and 90, but it becomes negative between 90 and 180. So we're going to use this information to kind of help us find the measure of obtuse angles if we know what the ratios are. So let's move down and we'll do the example. All right, so the example says write the measure of each supplementary obtuse angle given the ratio of the acute angle. So supplementary just means that they add up to 180 degrees. And as I was saying, sine, cos, and tan is always positive in between 0 and 90. So it's going to tell us, if we go to do this on the calculator, it's going to give us a positive acute angle, but we don't want the acute angle, we want the obtuse angle. So the strategy for this is to find the acute angle first, and then what you're going to do is subtract it from 180 to find the obtuse supplementary angle. So let me show you how that works. So the first question says sine p equals 0.65. So I'm going to calculate that on my calculator by finding the inverse. So I'm going to find the angle by just doing inverse sine on 0.65. Again, guys, make sure your calculator is in degrees, because if it's not in degrees, it's not going to give you the correct answer. So I get 40.5 degrees as P. Now, that's the first part. Second part, we're going to subtract from 180 to find the obtuse angle. So 180 minus 40.5. So we get an answer of 139.5 degrees. So that is our supplementary obtuse angle. Let's do B and C. Same thing. We will do the inverse. This is R. So I get that R is 77.3 degrees. And again, just subtract that from 180. $102. And the last one, I get 23.7 degrees. And then when I subtract it, I get 156.3 degrees. So this is basically what we're going to be doing in this lesson is we'll now be able to change things to obtuse angles and kind of go back and forth between our acute angles and our obtuse angles and work with them in different ways. Anyways, have a great day, guys.